The backroom walls are a monotonous and disorienting sight. They stretch endlessly, bathed in a sickly beige hue, devoid of any distinguishing features or texture. Harsh, flickering fluorescent lights overhead cast a surreal glow, revealing a seemingly infinite expanse of sterile, unyielding surfaces. These walls offer no respite, no clues to orientation, only an oppressive sense of entrapment in an endless and bewildering labyrinth. How did I get here, he thought to himself as he ventured deeper into the back rooms. He entered a corridor that defied reason and logic. Initially well lit on his side, intense fluorescent lights starkly contrasted against the beige walls. However, an unsettling phenomenon began to unfold before his eyes. The light faded progressively with each step he took, as if some unseen force devoured it. The corridor itself seemed to hunger for the light, leaving him in a disconcerting darkness. In this obscurity, he sensed an oppressive presence lurking just beyond the reach of the flickering lights. With each hesitant step down the corridor, his unease deepened, and the well-lit section behind him became a distant memory swallowed by encroaching darkness. Within that darkness, he was certain that something watched and waited, a silent, insidious presence that eluded his gaze. The lights in the back rooms exist in a perpetual state of eerie uncertainty. They are harsh, flickering, fluorescent fixtures that hang from the nondescript beige ceiling, casting a stark, almost clinical quality to the environment. These lights emit a cold, pale glow that provides minimal comfort in the otherwise unsettling expanse of the back rooms. The illumination they offer is inconsistent, with some areas bathed in an intense, almost blinding brightness, while others remain shrouded in near darkness. The flickering quality of the lights creates a disconcerting, almost hypnotic effect, as if they are struggling to maintain their feeble grip on reality. Yet despite their relentless flickering, the lights never seem to change or need maintenance. They emit a monotonous mechanical hum that further adds to the sense of disquiet, as if the very walls themselves are whispering unsettling secrets. "How did I get here?" he mumbled under his breath, the words echoing in the disconcerting darkness of the corridor. The question lingered in the air, unanswered and taunting, as if the very walls of the back rooms held the key to his predicament. Desperation gnawed at him, and he forced his mind to unravel the tangled threads of memory. He clung to each fragment, each fleeting image that might offer a clue, but it was like trying to grasp smoke with bare hands, an exercise in futility. "Useless," he muttered, a defeated tone in his voice. The memories slipped through his fingers like sand, leaving him with nothing but a profound sense of isolation and fear. It was as if the very act of remembering was a futile endeavor, a cruel joke played on him by the relentless, devouring darkness of the back rooms. As he ventured deeper into the corridor, the darkness closed in around him like a suffocating shroud. His mind was locked in a relentless battle with fragmented memories, leaving him disoriented and vulnerable. He couldn't fathom what a grave mistake it had been to journey this far into the unknown. Suddenly he snapped back to the present, a chill racing down his spine. He turned around swiftly, expecting to find the comforting glow of the well-lit corridor he had just traversed. But to his eerie surprise, there was nothing but impenetrable darkness in every direction. No light in front and no trace of the passage he had just come from. Panic surged within him, and he fumbled for his pocket, his fingers seeking the worn-out lighter he had carried with him. With a quick and rapid motion, he retrieved it, a feeble attempt to reassure himself that he was not entirely defenseless. He flicked the lighter, and for a brief, heart-stopping moment, a feeble flame flickered to life, casting a faint, trembling glow around him. It was then that he saw it, unfathomable, grotesque shapes lurking in the darkness ahead, half-formed and nightmarish. His breath caught in his throat, and the flickering flame of his lighter seemed like a frail barrier between him and the horrors that lay in wait. He realized, in that heart-stopping instant, that whatever lay ahead was beyond his comprehension and far more terrifying than anything he could have imagined. He woke up in the corner of a dimly lit room, his fingers still tightly clutching the worn-out lighter. His thumb throbbed painfully, the sensation a stark reminder of the flickering flame that had briefly illuminated the nightmarish darkness. "I must have fainted out and somehow traversed the dark and passed out here," he thought to himself. The resilience of human instincts both fascinated and bewildered him in this bizarre place. He rose to his feet, moving cautiously through the pitch-black darkness. The surroundings seemed strangely familiar, with the scent of yellow wallpaper and damp, worn carpet underfoot. But there was something distinctly unsettling about the atmosphere. It was the lights. They were different. The overhead lights flickered and danced, casting eerie, shifting shadows that mirrored the flame of the worn-out lighter he still held in his hand. It was as though the room itself was caught in a perpetual, unsettling waltz of illumination and darkness, a macabre echo of the journey that had brought him here. As he continued to scan the room, a sense of unease settled in his chest. This place was familiar yet foreign, like a distorted memory from the recesses of his mind. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was on the cusp of a revelation, that the answers to the mysteries that had brought him to this room were hiding just beyond his grasp, lurking in the unsettling dance of the flickering shadows. As he ventured deeper into the room, his hands found the two large round holes in the back wall. They were like dark voids, enticing and ominous, leading to destinations unknown. He stood before them, hesitating, ready to react if some unseen threats were to spring forth. His breath trembled with a mixture of anticipation and fear. Summoning his resolve, he took a deep breath, inhaling the musty, damp air through his nose, and without warning, he yelled, "The basement!" The words echoed through the room, and he immediately crouched down, casting furtive glances around as if he had just alerted a hidden malevolence to his presence. His mind raced as he tried to piece together the fragments of his memories. "I was going through stuff in the basement, unpacking. We just moved into a new house," he mumbled aloud, his voice tinged with a growing sense of unease. He examined the worn-out lighter in his hand, realizing its significance. "I must have found it among the old stuff that we brought with us while looking through the moving boxes." But a chilling realization washed over him, leaving him breathless. His surroundings, although slightly altered, less worn out, felt unmistakably familiar. The walls, the floors, the ceiling, they bore an uncanny resemblance to the corner of the basement in his new home. He couldn't help but recall the discovery of a similar hole in the wall, just behind one of the old shelves in the basement of his new home. The eerie resemblance between those holes and the ones before him now sent a shiver down his spine. There must be a way out if there is a way in, he thought, clutching the worn-out lighter tightly in his hand. Feeling the two dark chasms before him, he realized that these enigmatic portals were his only escape from this surreal nightmare. There was no other path, no other exit apart from these two gaping rifts in the fabric of reality itself. Taking a deep, fortifying breath to signal his readiness, he squeezed the worn-out lighter hard, the knuckles of his hand turning white, and braced himself for the daunting choice that lay ahead. It was a choice between the unknown, a step into the abyss, or remaining trapped in a realm that defied reason and logic. With determination and fear warring within him, he prepared to venture into the depths of uncertainty, ready to confront whatever lay beyond the ominous holes in the wall.